Hi guys, what's up and welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm Joep Hijwegen, a fine art street photographer from the Netherlands. And most of you who came here probably know me from Instagram because I'm migrating most of my stories and community content from Instagram to YouTube. And in this first video, I just want to quickly introduce myself a little bit for those of you who don't know me. And then I want to explain what I want to do with this channel and why I chose to go to YouTube and not just stay on Instagram. So the reason that I went to YouTube on the short term was because doing portfolio reviews, doing little workshops, giving information via Instagram stories became just a very a very complicated way of passing on information. Like, people could never find videos back, people were overwhelmed with videos like in their feed, but then, you know, they couldn't really find what they were looking for. So I got a lot of the same questions again and again in, for example, Q&As. People wanted to look back at their feedback review, but they couldn't anymore because the time had passed. So really I needed a way to more permanently place videos somewhere, and YouTube was my choice because I also want to start creating more long format content, and that is actually going to be the bulk of the things I'm going to be posting on here, is more long format content. And what kind of content is partly up to you as well. Please let me know in the comments what you'd love to see. But a lot of it is going to be really a gap in the market that I'm seeing, in the market of photography talk, really, that I kind of want to fill in. And that is a deeper dive into the philosophy of pictures and in the actual act of progressing as an artist, which is, I feel, something is going to be that's missing out a little bit. I think most photography channels are really primarily either about gear or about tutorials that are more practical in nature, or very motivational, but not necessarily tackling the darker, harder aspects of photography, which is really finding your voice, believing that voice is somewhat useful. And in order to, you know, have something to add in that conversation, I really don't just want to look at photography, but also at philosophy and about art history and art in general. And that is really what I'm going to be doing on this channel. Now, for those that don't know me yet, I want to just quickly introduce myself a little bit and give you a little bit of an oversight on work. If you want to look more at my work, I can heartily recommend to check out my Instagram and my website, which I'll show below. But basically, I'm a street photographer, which means that I spend most of my days wandering the streets of Utrecht and Amsterdam in the Netherlands. I sell my prints via the Kaman Gallery, which is a gallery in Amsterdam, with a lot of amazing artists that I'm very privileged to be a part of. And aside from that, I also curate and publish a magazine called Beyond Digital Magazine, which is a magazine by and for photographers via Instagram, to really help what I think are very talented photographers on Instagram publish work in a printed form, of which the first 2 issues are out now. I think there's a couple of volume 2 still left. Volume 1 is sold out. I'll also link that below. And aside from that, I have published 1 book and I'm now publishing my 2nd book. Photography to me really started therapeutically. It started as something that I did just to make myself feel better. And I have a background in philosophy. I studied philosophy, and I've always been very intrigued by philosophical concepts and specifically existential struggles. And photography really, for me, essentially came out of my own existential struggles and my philosophies about those. So I walked for hours and hours on end looking for these stories and trying to take pictures to kind of make sense of life, and to, by finding my own stories and telling my own stories, to also give my own life meaning. So that's where I come from, and that's really what is central to my photography. And that comes out in my style, which is, if I had to describe it myself, very cinematic and very unreal, in a way that I try to capture very daily things in a way that make them look almost directed, even though it's candid photography. So that's enough about me for now. I'd love to tell you more about my background and journey through photography, but that's something for another video. What you can expect from this channel in the future is basically a lot of community content. The main reason I'm here is really to express myself, but also to connect to you, to connect to other photographers who are also sharing this creative journey. And it's everything from portfolio reviews from Instagram to small workshops and tutorials. Yes, there's also going to be some gear videos where I think they're interesting, and a lot of philosophy behind the pictures, and a lot about the thought process behind making a picture. That's really going to be the main thing. And even in the gear and workshop videos, it will be very much a team to really look at it in a different way, not talk megapixels and talk technical image quality, but to really talk about it in practical terms of how can this contribute to a feel, how can it contribute to your flow, how can it contribute to increasing this joy of pictures and increasing this ability to express yourself. That's really what this channel is going to be all about. It's going to be about me expressing myself and hopefully adding some value to your life and to your photographic journey, and help you express yourself as well. So stay tuned for that. The first video should already be up by the time this one is, but not, they will be following very soon. Please let me know in the comments if you have any tips or improvements, or if there's anything you'd love to see, and I will get on that.